All right, everyone. So it's episode 118, and I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited. I just feel so nourished. Yesterday, I went to the Korean spa, which is really amazing. There's one that's about an hour drive, and it's interesting. I really actually enjoyed just having the drive and peace of mind. And you go out there and there's a salt room and there's a clay room and there's a jade egg room, and they're all like 140 degrees. And so I do like two rounds where I go in one for 20 minutes and you sit out 20 minutes, sit out 20 minutes, sit out, have something to eat, and then redo it again. And then there's like these hot jacuzzis that you go and lay in, and the steam room and sauna. It just is like overall an incredible experience. And so I go with a girlfriend of mine. We go like every few months, and I always wake up and I'm just like, oh, so like just happy. And I feel so light and renewed and rejuvenated. So anyway, I wanted to have a conversation today. And by the way, you guys, we only have one more episode. So I complete my 52 weeks. I'm like, so like, I, I don't even have really words for it, to be honest. It just feels unreal. It feels like I did this two times where I did an episode a week for a year, and like the rewardingness that it feels of like, I set out to do something for a whole year. Like I had a commitment for a whole year, a relationship with this podcast where I promised to show up for a whole year every week. And I don't know, it just, when you have that commitment to yourself and your purpose and to leaving a legacy, and then you're like at the thing, you're like, oh my God. And it makes you just feel more inspired to do more over longer commitments of time, because you get to see like the impact that happens over 1 year of your life. And what I was talking about a year ago, where I was mentally a year ago, like I think I just saw the other day on Facebook, like a year ago and a day ago, I just got my Facebook business page back after being hacked. So I was in like a totally different headspace a year ago of like learning about the technical world and learning about organizations and leadership teams and anyway, all of it. So today, I really wanted to focus on something, which is conflict in relationships. And how do we begin to really navigate conflict in relationships? Because I was the woman, I don't know if you guys, that anything that was bad that would happen in conflict, like in a relationship, like it could just be something small, like whatever, I'm just walking away. Like I'm not dealing with this. I'm not doing this. Like I would just, I don't know. I just wouldn't, I'd be like, that was one bad thing. So whatever, the relationship isn't worth it because it's supposed to be like picture perfect. And if everything's not going perfectly, like screw it. Or it would be the woman who I wouldn't speak up when there was something bothering me in the relationship because I didn't want to like break this picture perfect identity of how I thought the relationship was going. And so these two things, either like running away or not saying anything, did not work out well for me. And it didn't really cause a lot of sustainable relationships in my life because I was either in relationships that I began to build resentment because I was taking from the relationship without using my voice and giving energy of what I really felt, of what I really wanted, of what I really desired to experience. I watched something the other day that I thought was really interesting. That's the person who takes more in a relationship begins to build resentment first, because that's when they realize they aren't equal. And I thought that was super powerful because in the relationships, once you begin to build resentment, or you're not speaking your voice, oh, you're not using it. You're not speaking your voice or your truth or the things that are arising of you, of what's frustrating, of what's amazing, of what do you want to be different? How do you want to grow deeper? Like, the more that you resist that, or the more that you don't communicate that, you're building resentment because you're taking from the relationship that you don't want to be in. And the second part is that you when there is conflict, you just run away. So I want you to know, and I want this to be a really simple podcast because it doesn't need to be complicated. It's not hard. It's just getting really clear on who you want to be in relationship with. And I said this a million times, and I keep saying it, relationships dictate the quality of your life. Relationships can make you or they can break you. Like I look at Johnny Depp, right? Those relationships broke both people's career. I look at other people that are in abusive relationships. They take years off of your life and off of your health and off of your mind. And you want to begin to go, what is it I want to feel in relationships? How is it I want to feel when conflict arises? For me, a big thing that I've had to learn how to feel is I wanted to know that even if there was conflict, I felt security. I didn't feel like this person was just going to like walk away or go away or abandon me. That's a big wound of mine. I'm really practicing my breathing, you guys. So anyway, you guys are with me in real time. Let's all take 3 deep breaths together. Actually, we're going to interment this podcast for a breathing moment. So we're going to breathe in together. Roll your shoulders up and back and breathe out. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Hold it in your third eye. I feel better. Okay, so with relationships, I want you to know, like, I wanted to feel security. And I think it's really important that wherever you are in your relating or relationship experience, that you begin to look, how do I want to feel in conflict? And how do I want to feel when something's not going as I planned? How can I more clearly, with compassion, with the intention to bring us closer together, communicate whatever issue is here so that we grow through this, that we become stronger together, we become more resilient together instead of like breaking up or running away or having this like big blowout and then coming back together and then big blowout. Like that isn't healthy. It's not good for the nervous system. It's not good for your mind. It's just not good for anything. So some really great ways to do this, and I want to give some tangible things here, is you want to begin to go, one, when this is happening or you feel upset, you want to say, I feel blah. Whatever it is that you're feeling in a relationship, whatever it is that you are, I don't know, unsettled about, you want to take responsibility for what you're feeling. You don't want to say, you did this, so I feel this. This happened and I feel this. It's going, I'm feeling feelings of anxiety because we're running late. And I feel like I mentioned I wanted to leave 10 minutes early. So where could we better enhance our communication so you feel like you have proper time to get ready? And I also feel like I communicated and I'm being met for there not to be anxiety running through me. And this is like how you move through things together. It's not like this argument. It's not blaming. And it takes practice. It's not easy because you're having high emotions of like, oh, I told this person I wanted to leave in 10 minutes and they're late and da da da. That physically doesn't feel good. And you coming at someone like that, they have their own reasons of why they were late or why whatever happened. And so you want to communicate in that lighthearted way, in that way of authenticity, in that way of excitement, in that way of expansion. And allow them the space to give you a reason or a solution to be made, a change of behavior to be made on both parties so that you can move through being on time or being early, in a neutral way. The second thing that's really important in relationships or conflict, instead of saying I feel, is to always look that everyone is a mirror of us. And I know that people don't like to hear that, but they are. And I'm not talking about trauma. If you went through something highly abusive, I'm not saying that. This isn't like close relationship with your boss, with your coworkers, with your family. Excuse me. You want to begin to look at these people as mirrors. So if people are ignoring you, if they're constantly late, if they're constantly not listening to you, if you're constantly feeling not good around someone, you want to look at going, why am I choosing to be around people where I don't feel good? Why am I choosing a life where I think this is the only option? And you want to begin to look, now that this person doesn't respond, now that this person is annoying, now that this person is just out to get you, but why, what am I doing here? What is the message? What is needing to be reflected here? What is something that I can learn and grow from? Because this is mirroring something that I'm feeling internally, whether it's I feel unworthy, whether it's I feel like this is what I deserve, whether it's like, I just haven't taken the time and space to actually declare what it is I want out of life, because your life either happens by default or it happens by design. And same with your relationships. They're going to happen on default, what you grew up with, what you saw, or by design. And the things that I'm teaching you, like I feel this type of communication, looking at these people are a mirror. What is this teaching me? How can I learn from this? How can I grow from this interaction that's causing me emotional instability or emotional arousal? And from that, what is it I want to begin to cultivate more of? Because it's not this. I know what I don't want. So how can I focus what I do want? And then what are the steps I need to take to have that? So one of the things that I've done in the majority of my relationships is we have a weekly check-in. So it will normally be on a Monday because that's just how I run my life. But on a Monday, just what's your intention for the week with us? What went really well last week? What didn't go so well? And really begin to look at that and create your life that way. So anyway, I wanted to share that. And I also wanted to share briefly that if you are someone who feels like it's safer to be alone, you're more comfortable alone, it's a lie. Your greatest growth happens in relationships. Your greatest growth, your greatest expansion, your greatest revelation happens in there. And so when you're alone, you don't have to deal with people. You don't have to deal with disagreements, communication, coordinating. And the greatest joy in your life is through other people, is through connection. As humans, we are hardwired for connection. So the fact that you've isolated yourself would just mean that you are too afraid to open your heart up because you don't believe you can handle the pain. And from these things I just shared, when we can take responsibility, we can see that all relationships are a learning lesson here to allow us to open and allow us to grow and allow us to expand and allow us to be greater. Like the sooner we can do that, the more bliss we're going to feel, because it becomes kind of like a game, like, oh, well, that was a silly argument, or, oh, that didn't go as planned. Like, why do I think that happens? Like a recent, disagreement I had with someone I'm with, it was because I was giving too much of myself. I was offering too much. I needed to take care of myself more before I could take care of them. And, there was reserves I had about doing something, and then it kind of blew up. And so it's like, I had to learn to listen to myself, and I had to learn to take care of myself. And that's that. And I looked at it that way instead of this big, like, you did this or how, da, da, da. Like, I didn't look at it that way. Just like that. It's like, okay, moving on. Next thing in our relationship. It doesn't need to be this big dramatic blowout. You just take it and you learn from it and you go. And that's what makes relating fun. And it's because you are seeing what the lesson is for you quicker, faster. And something that used to take you a week where you'd be upset about, or months you'd be upset about, or that thing that you're like, well, you did this, and you'd bring it up from years ago or months ago. It doesn't happen like that anymore. You just let it be and you grow with it in hours instead of months. And you don't bring up those things because you see, wow, that was the lesson. You take the lesson, you integrate it into who you are, into a relationship, and you become better and you become stronger, and it just becomes more fun. And that's how you handle conflict in relationships. It's how you take your power back, and you don't try to control or change or pretend someone was any different than they are. You accept people for who they are. You love them for who they are. And you take responsibility of how you want the relationship to go, and you communicate that. And that's that. So I love you. I hope this serves. And I would highly recommend, if you like this and you want to go deeper on relationships, my third book, An Uncompromised Life, How to Overcome Heartbreak and Trauma and Forever Attract Love. That is your go-to book. And to go deeper on it, I have a workshop that's called How to Overcome Heartbreak and Forever Attract Love. I recommend that. And if you definitely want to go deeper and you're like, Colleen, I'm ready to find love, and I'm ready to have you be my consultant in doing this, it's my deepest joy to support people in finding love. And so just reach out wherever you are, if you're going through a divorce or a breakup or wanting to just overcome the past, and I'm here for you. I've got you. Just reach out and say, I want to find love, and I will support you. And even if it's in relationships within your team or in your office and you want support and having a more cohesive team, I've got your back, and I can help you and I can support you, because it's my greatest joy for people to have true, authentic connection and people coming together in connection, in community, to work towards goals that matter to them, whether that's memories together, whether it's memories with their team, whether it's achievements through targets you're hitting. But that's the greatest thing we all want to receive and just experience in this life. We all deeply want that and crave it. So anyway, I hope this served you. Please share it. Please leave a review. Please reach out. I love you. I honor you.